Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Word for Kids. I'm Jaymie, and I'm guiding you through the books of Joshua, Judges, and Ruth in a series of 20 episodes. Last time, we talked about a man named Gideon, whom the Lord called to defeat the Midianites. Gideon started out with 32,000 men, but God wanted the Israelites to know that it was because of His power, and not their own strength, that they were successful. First, Gideon told anyone who was afraid to turn back. Then the Lord separated them by how they drank water. Suddenly, the army went from 32,000 down to 300. Gideon went to the Midianite camp in the night to spy and overheard one of their men talking about a dream he had. He dreamt that a loaf of barley bread rolled into their camp and crushed them. His friend interpreted this dream as Gideon and his army defeating them. When Gideon heard this, he bowed down and worshipped. Then he returned to camp to collect his men with confidence. Gideon's 300 men, armed with jars, torches, trumpets, approached the Midianites. God caused these Midianites to turn their swords on each other, and they fled. Other Israelites from surrounding towns came out to help, and the Midianites were defeated. Finally, Israel had peace. And that's where we left off last time. Are you ready for today's adventure? Let's go. As we just learned, the Israelites had peace for a while after defeating the Midianites. But if you've been following the story of the Israelites this far, you can probably guess what happened next. That's right, again, they did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They sinned, and so the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. A man named Manoah and his wife Zora had no children. The angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife and said, "You are going to become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must not drink wine or other fermented drink, and you must not eat anything unclean. No razor can be used on your son's head, because the boy will be a Nazirite, dedicated to the Lord. He will take the lead in delivering Israel from the hands of the Philistines." Let's pause right there for today's word of the day.
Nazirite, a person set apart for a special purpose for God.
Okay, so the angel of the Lord had just told Zora all these things, and she went and told her husband Manoah about it. She told him all the man of God, sometimes called the angel, had said to her. Manoah prayed to God, "I beg you to let the man of God you sent to us come again, to teach us how to bring up the boy who is to be born." God heard Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman while she was out in the field. But her husband Manoah was not with her. The woman hurried to tell her husband, "He's here, the man who appeared to me the other day." Manoah got up and followed his wife. When he came to the man, he said, "Are you the man who talked to my wife?" "I am," he said. So Manoah asked him, "When your words are fulfilled, what is to be the rule that governs the boy's life and work?" The angel of the Lord answered, "Your wife must do all that I have told her." At this, Manoah asked that the man stay with them until they could prepare a young goat. The man refused to eat and told Manoah to offer it to God. Manoah didn't know he was talking to an angel and asked him, "What is your name, so that we may honor you when your word comes true?" "Why do you ask my name?" the angel replied. "It is beyond understanding." So Manoah sacrificed the young goat and a grain offering to the Lord, and as the flame blazed up from the altar toward heaven, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame. At this, Manoah and his wife fell with their faces to the ground, and Manoah realized he had been speaking with the angel of the Lord. "We are doomed to die. We have seen God," he cried. But his wife Zora reassured him. If the Lord meant to kill us, he wouldn't have accepted the burnt offering and grain offering, and he wouldn't have shown us these things or told us this. When the time came, the woman gave birth to a son and named him Sampson. The Spirit of the Lord began to stir up in him when he was in Mahanadan, and that's where our story ends for today. Now, it's time for today's verse to remember. Today's verse is Psalm 147:11. The Lord delights in those who fear him, who put their hope in his unfailing love. One more time. The Lord delights in those who fear him, who put their hope in his unfailing love. Psalm 147:11. Can you imagine how it must have felt for Zora to have an angel of the Lord tell her she'd be having a baby boy and he would serve a special purpose for God? Zora didn't even think she was going to be able to have kids at all. This isn't the only time we've seen this happen in the Bible either. Remember Abraham and Sarah? Or how about Mary and Joseph? God made miracles happen to bring special people into the world to serve his purpose. And that same God is still working in the world today, calling his children to do great things for his kingdom. God can use you to do amazing things too. That's all the time we have for today. I can't wait to see you again soon for another episode of The Word for Kids.